Hello and welcome back. So we are going to start our journey by first understanding what React Hook is about. Okay. So in the olden days, programming was all about classes. Okay. So let's say in the olden days, if you want to create a component that displays information of persons, right? What you do is you create a class which is a blueprint of the person. So this class is going to have attributes. And when I say attributes, I mean features of the person. So a person can have a name, color, height, and all of that, right? So you have to create these attributes and then use that blueprint to create an object. So this object becomes the person. So we can have person one, and then you assign a name to person one, let's say Christian, person two be Macbeth, and all of that, right? So in that case, you're able to kind of display list of persons and then their attributes, right? But in this modern world, programming is all about functions. Okay, so now function components are dominating, and we must have a way of kind of keeping track of these attributes or features we are talking about, right? And that's why React hooks, or that is when React hooks comes in play. So React hooks allows us to tap into React's features such as state and then life cycle. When I say state, I mean the data of the components. Okay, and when I say life cycle, I mean the stages the component goes through: when the component is being called, when the component is in the running state, and then when the component is done running, which is on mount stage, right? So React helps us to handle the state and then the life cycle of our components, which makes it easy for us. Now when you look at my VS code, I have a code here. Okay, so what this code basically does is it helps us to kind of select our favorite color and then populate it or show it through our header here. Okay, so I've already run the application and this is how it looks. Okay, so currently my favorite color is green. I can now change it to blue. I can change it to red by clicking on pink. I can change it to pink by clicking on pink. I can change it to blue, right? So currently what happens is once this application is mounted, right, we kind of set it to blue, and then when you click on red, it changes it from blue to red. Okay, so it's kind of keeping track of the state, which is the data of the application, right? And that's what React Hook is all about. Okay, it makes it easier for us to manage the state and then also manage the life cycle of it. So in order to do that, what you basically do is, or what you do is, you kind of import useState from React. Okay, so useState help us to manage or keep track of the application state, which is the application data. All right, and there are some rules that comes or governs React hooks. And the first one I would like us to talk about is hooks can only be called inside a React function. So when you look at this, we have a function here, which is the app function. React hooks are only called inside functions. That is the first rule. Okay, the next one is hooks can only be called at the top level of the component. So if you see, we are having our hook here, right? So we are calling this use state right here at the top here. We didn't kind of bring it, let me cut this, bring it beneath, right? It's not going to work. You get it? Yeah, so that is basically the second rule. So always make sure your use state or your React hooks are called on top. At least should be the first after the name or after the signature of the function. Okay, the last one but not the least is hooks cannot be conditional. Okay, so you can't kind of render conditional statements in hooks, right? You have to set them straight and then that's it for you. And then the last but not the least, which that one technically is not a rule, but you have to know, is that we are kind of migrating, or we've migrated from class components to function components, right? So it means hooks will not work in React classes or React classes components. That's why we are using our hook inside a function component. Okay, so in the next or subsequent videos, I'm going to show you how, or some of how we can use some of the React hooks that are available, and also look at how we can create our own. But for this video, all I wanted to do is kind of introduce what React is about. So React is all about helping you to manage the state of the component. When I say state, again, the data of the component. Okay, and also help you to manage the life cycle, what happens at every life cycle, which we are going to dive much deeper into it in our coming videos. Hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, kindly click on the subscribe button, like this video, share the video with friends, and see you in the next one.